So strength and courage is key in this, isn't it?
Big time.
And for me, it's one of the main things that the mantra practice has given me. The strength to question different things, different relationships, friendships, different structures that I had in my life. And allowing myself to recognize, oh, that's not working for me. It started happening in work when I was doing another job alongside private practice. I was so tired. I was working so many hours. And it had stopped being rewarding or fulfilling to do both together. I was just run ragged. So at a certain point, I allowed myself to make that decision where I would change it. Yeah. Old Emer would not have done that. Old Emer would have been bound by things like loyalty. They've been so good to you, blah, 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 blah. You owe them now. Yeah. And those are the kinds of things that trap us. So it's that strength and courage that allows us to really look at it. Really look at how am I operating in this? And is that in my highest interest? Is that what's fully right for me or fully good for me? And then it's that courage of just allowing changes and see what happens. And it might be a bit messy for a while. Yeah? It might be a bit messy for a while. My life was upheaval for a couple of years because I changed everything. I literally changed everything. The only thing that I have kept from years ago is my profession. That is the only thing that I had at the beginning of this journey. Everything else is different. Where I'm living, the car I'm driving, the office is different even. When we're within our healing cycles, that feeling will come in waves. That feeling will come after a wave of deep healing. When we're in the midst of deep healing, that can feel gruesome sometimes. It can feel very, very intense emotions. But the aftermath of that will be calm, for however long it's calm, until the next wave is ready. So everything we're talking about in this is the road that we're traveling to get closer to that deepest self of us. It's the risks that we take for that. How long we spend at the edge of it, sort of looking at it, but at the same time kind of being a bit afraid to look at it. Whatever we encounter when we go into that is whatever is there. I do not manufacture pain or suffering or discomfort or agitation or anger or any of those things in you. Mantra does not manufacture those things in you. What we discover when we go into that is just what's there. And that's sometimes people ask me, what's my soul purpose? Our soul purpose is exactly that. It's whatever is happening now. Whatever is happening now within you and within your life, your soul purpose is to address that. We don't need to think any bigger or beyond that. It's literally just this. In this moment, today, this week, this month. Sometimes we can look at other people and feel inspired by who they are and how they are. And that can give us a sense of it can be done. That's the kind of thing that gives me hope. If I don't know how to do something, like for me, speaking in front of a group like this used to terrify me. I spent 2 years working in a detox center, so all I did every day was group work. Every day I would be sick with nerves before going into the group. And it was only a handful of people, 4 or 5 people, but it was fairly confrontational because we were working in addiction, so they could literally say or do anything. And I would just be in knots, sick with nerves before going into the group, and then trying to not let it show, because you were working with people who were so fine-tuned to weakness, finding weakness in somebody, that if I walked into the room nervous, I was an easy target. Yeah? And I wanted to really, really conquer that. So when I started meeting people in Japa community, and I started noticing, when we go on India trips or any big event, Sashi will usually get all the teachers to stand up and speak something. And so I was looking at these people standing up and speaking, and they were just so natural, and they would just say whatever they were saying, and it was totally from the heart, and it was totally genuine and totally real, and you weren't bored. I was like, how do they do that? I really want to be able to do that. I want to be able to stand up and speak in front of any group and just be myself. And not have to have it all rehearsed in my head before I do it. And it took me years to get to that point where I felt, yeah, I think I'm doing it now. But something of seeing what was possible in another person showed me that it can be done. I just need to figure out how do they do what they're doing and find that in me. I remember asking a very, very successful Irish business person. You'd know the name if I said it. Very famous person. I remember asking him, because I was thinking of doing an MBA. I don't know where I got that idea from. I was like, should you do an MBA? Is it good, for business? Will it give me good skills? Blah, blah, blah. And he said, doing an MBA is like having sexy underwear. It'll make you feel good, but it's not really of any use. Yeah. And then I said, well, okay, what do I do then in terms of the business side of my business? Healing side of my business, no problem. Business side of my business, I'm not so good at. I said, I'm just winging it. And he said, let me tell you something. We're all just winging it. This is somebody who's multi-millionaire. I was like, if he's just winging it, and he's got all this success, from just taking measured risks, but winging it, then I can just relax a bit and let myself wing it in whatever my way feels possible. That for me felt very hopeful. Thank God I don't have to do an MBA. Sign away whatever number of years of my life, So if we don't feel like we have hope, we should go and find that. If we feel that we've reached a dead end within ourselves, it just means that we've run out of whatever resources we have within us, and we need something from outside. We need something from somebody else that gives us a sense of, no, there's something else that's possible here.